This is the homework for 1014, 15, 16, and 17a. In 1014, you need to find the area and perimeter of the shape. So the area is the space inside the shape. The perimeter is the distance or the length of the sides of the exterior. So in order to find the area, I broke up the shape into two separate shapes. I have the blue rectangle and the green triangle. First, we'll start with the green triangle to find the area. Remember that a triangle is half of a rectangle. So I extended this shape. So here's the triangle, and I extended the triangle to make it a rectangle. So you can see that two triangles make the rectangle. And the reason why I did that is because it's easy to find the area of it now, because the area of a rectangle is length multiplied by width. So to find a triangle, it's length multiplied by width, but divided by 2. So we have 10 multiplied by 7.6, which equals 76. Divide that by 2 because the triangle is half of a rectangle, and we end up with 38 meters squared. So now I have the area of the triangle. Now I'm going to find the missing length for this part of the perimeter, because remember the perimeter is the length of the sum of the length of all the sides. So this is a right triangle. So we use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse. So we have 10 squared plus 7.6 squared equals c squared, which is x. 10 squared is 100. 7.6 squared is 57 and 76 hundredths. Add those two up, and you get 157 and 76 hundredths equals c squared. Inverse property of squaring is taking the square root. So square root are inverse properties. What you do to one side, you do to the other. And we have c equals approximately 12 and 56 hundredths meters. Now that we know that the hypotenuse, the length of this side, is 12 and 56 hundredths, which is here, the missing length that we had for the perimeter. And remember, the opposite sides of a rectangle are congruent, so these are equal. So now we have this missing side. So for the perimeter, we add the lengths of the exterior to get the perimeter. So the lengths of the perimeter are 10, 21 and 25 hundredths plus 7 and 6 tenths plus 21 and 25 hundredths plus 12 and 56 hundredths equals 72 and 66 meters. Now I'm going to find the area of the rectangle. And the area of a rectangle is length multiplied by width. So we have 21 and 25 hundredths multiplied by 7 and 6 tenths equals 161 and 5 tenths meters squared. So the area of the rectangle is 100. So the area of the triangle, 38 meters, plus the area of the rectangle, 161.5, equals 199 and 5 tenths meters. For 1015, I have to write each decimal as a fraction. So this is 72 hundredths. You say the place value of the last digit, 10 tenths, hundredths, so it's 72 hundredths. For B, this is 72 hundredths repeating. So it looked like this, 0.72, 72, 72, repeating forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let x equal 72 hundredths repeating. And you'll see why in a moment. So what I have here is x, and I said it was 72 hundredths repeating. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 100. 100 times x, and then 72 hundredths repeating times 100. And when you multiply by 100, it moves the decimal place 2 place values to the right. So we have 100x equals 72 and 72 hundredths repeating. And remember that x equaled 72 hundredths repeating. So I'm going to subtract x from this side, and then I'm going to subtract x from this side, which was 72 hundredths repeating. So 100x minus x equals 99x. And here, if this is 72 hundredths repeating that I'm subtracting, these will cancel each other out, and I'm left with just 72. And now I divide, because this is multiplication, divide both sides by 99. This is the big 1, and then we have x equals 72 99ths. Now, that was a very complicated way to show you the proof or how to write a repeating decimal as a fraction. But if you just remember, the rule is however many decimals are repeating place values, so 72, there's 2 place values repeating, then there's going to be 2 9s. If there were 3 place values repeating, there would be 3 9s. And I'll show you on another example in a moment. Here we have 175 thousandths, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So 175 thousandths. For D, it's 175 thousandths. So the rule is 1, 2, 3 place values, 175, 1, 2, 3, 9s. Here's another example. 8 tenths repeating, 1 place value, 8, 1, 9. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4 place values repeating, 4 9s. So however many place values are repeating, that's how many 9s are going to be in the denominator. For 1016, Joanna is planting tomatoes in the school garden this year. Tomato plants come in packs of 6. She needs 80 plants in the garden and already has 28. How many packs of plants will she need? So I'm setting it up here because I know that she needs 80 plants. So that's the total number of plants she needs. I know it's going to be the total. She doesn't have that, but that's how many she needs. And I know that there's the number of packs of plants and plus the number of plants she has, which is 28, is going to equal the total number of plants that she needs. So here we have, there's 6 plants in each pack, and we don't know how many packs that she needs, plus how many plants she already has equals the total number she needs. So now I'm just going to solve this equation. Inverse property of addition is subtraction. Subtract 28 from both sides. 6x equals 52. Divide both sides by 6, gets the big one. 52 divided by 6. X equals 8 and 6 tenths repeating. Well, we needed to find out how many packs of plants she needed. And you can't buy 6 tenths repeating of a pack. So you would need to buy 9 packs of plants in order to have enough. In 1017, we're going to solve this equation for y. So we have 3x plus a negative 4. Well, that's just saying 3x minus 4. Now we're going to try to get y by itself. So we're going to subtract 9 from both sides. Create a zero pair. Negative 4 and negative 9 equals negative 13. And now we want to get rid of this 2. This is multiplication. Inverse property of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. And when you divide the left side, you have to divide each term by 2. So we have 3 divided by 2, which is 1.5x. Negative 13 divided by 2 is negative 6.5 equals y. And y equals 1.5x minus 6.5. For C, it's a proportional problem, proportional relationship. So I use the butterfly method or cross multiplying. So 6 multiplied by x is 6x. 38 multiplied by 18 is 684. Inverse property multiplication is division. So we created the big 1, divide both sides by 6. And we get x equals 114.